Hello everybody, and welcome back to our Sun and Shadow estate within the darkest dungeon. And today we're going to look at two new modded characters. This time for once not by CO Marvin. In fact, these are made by another gentleman or gentle lady, I do actually not know, by the name of Oh Nightmare. And with the werewolf there was a little bit of help from the Hooded Lay apparently. Yes, these are this character and this character. Now, these are not the only ones I'm going to show you. Later on, I will show you the librarian over here, which is also it's a community project, and I have also the snake charmer and the cataphract. But more about them a little later. Though I have to add one thing. I almost want to add the librarian to this team, but then she doesn't travel with the werewolf or with the boss. Her Houndmaster, which is a little bit unfortunate because she says her dog scares her, but she's not a dog, she's a werewolf. Okay, fine, I understand. All jokes aside, so what is this character about? To be fairly honest, I think Acolyte of the Sun is a little bit of a misnomer. I would have preferred to name her Acolyte of the Twilight, and I'm about to show you that. That's because, well, these are her skills, by the way. Which I have to say, it's a little bit weird to see this, but she has 5 unique skills, and the same holds true for the werewolf. And because of how they're laid out, it immediately screams mod to me, because all of a sudden the normal and courage, which are always here on the bottom and has quite a bit of space in between it, here they don't have that. So minor point for possible improvement. Regardless, Acolyte of the Sun. Let's look at her. As said, by the way, perhaps I'm going too fast. You might be interested in this lore. Please feel free to read. Acolyte of the Sun and the werewolf, which, by the way, has a rather unique. Well, I'm saying unique. That's not true anymore. Apparently, for mods now, it's becoming common. But she has a little bit of a page about how she came to be, how she was experimented upon, and came to the town. But yeah, that is their backgrounds. So, Acolyte of the Sun. Why do I find it a misnomer? Well, first of all, it's a little bit of a peeve, but the Vestal is actually already kind of an Acolyte of the Sun, in that she is an Acolyte of the Light. But moreover, and what I do love about the Acolyte of the Sun, is that she doesn't just care about having much light. These are her trinkets. They don't show it off that well, but I believe there are quite a few skills that do show it off. Here you see her basic attack, if you will, the Dark Sun Arrow. And it already is in the name, Dark Sun. And there is additional damage if the torch is very high. Above 75, you have plus 20% damage. And there's additional crit damage if torch goes below light. So she likes it if it's very dark, or if it's very bright. Very light is not a thing you say. This is a rather interesting thing. It is a self-heal for 1 HP, which is the only thing that gets buffed by her plus 50% healing skills. But because you have to take into account plus 50% healing skills doesn't help with any of the heals that go over time. So basically the buff of this combination of these two abilities is mainly for her stress skills. Because the minus 100% damage versus Cosmic is only a disadvantage. So actually to put these two together is not that special, to be honest. Because the stress skill also comes only from Vengeful Covenant, which is an amazing ability, but does have some downsides. It does a big ass stress relief, but it only has 50% chance to hit, and that just doesn't go up. The amount of stress that it heals goes up, but not the chance for it. So that is a decent stress heal. It's not like the Jester, so don't worry, it's not overpowered in that sense. But there's also only a 50% chance to hit. And because there's like lesser buffs for her, the stress heal will never beat the Jester. So it's a strong one, but yeah, but the 50% chance and not having musical for her, what have you not, the Jester in the end, if all the buffs are combined, the Jester will heal more. But what it mainly does, of course, is that buff target plus 1 combat action. Yeah, you want that one ability to fire off just one more time? Then hit this. Then she has a focused ray, which bypasses stealth and does the stealth and lowers the torchlight a little bit. It is very accurate though, which is very nice. It's less damage, but it de-stealths, which is really nice. It bypasses stealth, which you need to do in order to de-stealth, and it's very accurate. So this is your, I'm going to get you out of stealth ability, this is your general damage ability, and this I'm going to have to show you, because this is just something so unique, and something that makes it so cool, that I'm going to have to show you in the dungeon. The abilities that I currently do not have equipped are, well, this one with the self-heal, that applies blight. This is the regenerate on a person, but it actually has a chance to cause a disease, which is, to me, a little bit like, what? And it does even a debuff of speed on yourself. This ability looks shite. So shite even, that if I look at this one, which has the exact same healing per rounds effect, and definitely heals, no 85% chance. Okay, the cause disease is 1% more, but that is already much better if it's guaranteed. Moreover, the speed debuff is less, and it transfers to restoration from other heroes. Say you have restored 2 people with an ability, now you can convert them all to 1 person. Which is why I would have enjoyed adding the librarian, as I said at the beginning to this video, because the librarian also has an overtime heal, and that then would be added. So she actually benefits of other people that have this as well, like the flagellant, for instance. So her calming chant, once again, benefits both from having very high light or benefits from having very low light. Her moonshine ability reduces torchlight a lot, but one companion gets a little bit of heal over time, and it removes a disease, which you may have applied thanks to this. So this is kind of necessary if you wanted to use that. I think I skipped over sunlight. So calming chant, sunlight, same thing. Torchlight high, it gives something. Torchlight low, it gives something. Rekindle, -1 additional hit point healed, but one companion, it's a mortality debuff, that's the main thing, and they get extra HP even on top of that. And then false promise, one companion plus 50% virtue chance, but you get rid of all their stress, and then you add 100 stress. So basically what it does, unfortunately if afflicted it's only -50, but if you manage it, you can basically give them a new chance to go from completely stressed out to re-stressing out, and then voila, they may get a virtue. I think that false promise would be better if it was actually normally -50% stress on a normal character, and if afflicted -100, because then it was a guaranteed re-roll of the die, and then the time free would be nicer. I think that would have actually been cooler. But that is the Acolyte of the Sun. Up to the werewolf, who I let to have, which has a disease, and I've not removed it. Why the heck did I do that? Well, if you look at this one, Tattered Raider Cape, plus 10% damage if it has rabies, and plus 20% dodge if it has rabies. So yes, I picked up rabies with this lady, and I'm keeping it. Because -10 accuracy is annoying, but I have total plus 25% damage, plus 20% dodge thanks to the rabies. That is so cool, to have a character that actually works with a disease for once. So what is her ability about? Well, her ability, the main thing you have to, there's a lot of text here I know, is the lower part. Change to mode human 20% chance. Whereas as human, you have, a little bit above it, change to mode be 60% chance. Also here, you see change mode to be 60% chance. Basically, every ability that's around here, well, almost every ability, has a chance to move her into another form involuntarily. The only one that doesn't do that is regain humanity. You change mode to human, point. It's just the way it is. But everything else, her beast abilities over here has a 20% chance to move her to human side. This is a non-factor. This doesn't change human or beast. Not crazy about this one, to be honest, but because this hits everybody and everybody suffers the 1 hit points of damage. Then there's this taunt, which has a chance to transform to beast, but as you also may notice, there's a lot of orange text around here. She is all about the repulsed, and that actually has a bit of a use combined with this lady, if done, if a little bit of lucky. And we're also adding on top of that a ranged character with also a lot of area damage, which also this character has. As you can see, free attack over there is claws here, a double thing. There's a reason why I'm stacking area of effect damage with the Acolyte of the Twilight. It's what I want to call her, but I know that Twilight unfortunately has the series, book series, and the movie has made that word a little bit iffy, but yeah, because she loves dark and light. I would have loved her if she would have been called Acolyte of the Twilight. I still love her now, but I would have loved her if otherwise. So, I have been talking for 10 straight minutes. Time to get into a dungeon. By the way, if you missed it, once again, these are her abilities. So, bleed skill chance, debuff, accuracy, which is nice in order to compensate rabies, and some extra scouting and crit chance. We're doing riposte here as well. Once again, it's all based around this character more or less. And yeah, this is a crazy trinket, plus 25% max HP and then even more stuff. So, wow. And then accuracy and stress and damage on our Falconer. This is a small mission, so I'm not... I mean, I have tons of cash. I can store whatever the heck I want, and nobody could say anything like, hey, you're over preparing, because I'm making more money with each dungeon. Because even if I over prepare, I'm gonna get it back. It don't matter. You know what? If I'm going to be this cocky, let's do it. Over prepare like a nutcase. So hopefully this dungeon, although being short, will be long enough to show you some of these awesome abilities. I won't be able to show off the camping abilities, which is why I had to take some extra time showing you right now how they look. Hopefully in another video, by random chance, there will be one of these mod characters in it as well, and you can see how they look when they are in
Pace out
camp.
the halls of your lineage, once familiar, now foreign.
Awesome, this dungeon has a bad layout, and for once I like that because I want to show off more of these characters. By the way, in case you're wondering, these are the color palettes that come equipped with the Werewolf, and these are for the Acolyte of the Sun. We don't need to read the books. Alright. Caught them by surprise, very nice.
Another abomination.
Perfect.
From our lands.
Now we're going to use her best ability. Look at the torch lines, look at the corpse, and look what happens. Yeah, that's creepy, isn't it? But look at this. Hey, what the heck does that do? Well, hopefully the werewolf can show it off. She didn't change form, and she didn't get riposte, but you can see there's a lot of accuracy debuff over here, thanks to her, by the way. It's not because of what this does. This doesn't add that, but riposte unfortunately wasn't activated. Pull wasn't activated. She has a chance to pull herself forward, which is kind of interesting. Let's do this. Could have killed somebody, but I wanted to show off a few things. After all, they have to be attacked, so you can see those animations. There we go, all of them once. Good. Now she is active. So let me just fire a volley on all three of them.
A decisive pummeling.
Did you see that? There was this green glow around her, and all of a sudden, I have 1 HP per round.
Back to the pit.
Didn't change back to beast form. I'm waiting on that. Oh, no it is. There it is. Yeah, unfortunately this is a little bit of a sudden. There is no animation for it, like with the abomination, but this is her in beast form. So, I am hurt over here. Let me just hit you. Hitting her heals you. And she also does this at random on other targets. Unfortunately, I have found no way to kind of understand how that works. It does do a debuff resistance, which is the disadvantage of having her, but this is an extremely unique way to heal. And all of a sudden, she has a lot of HP per person that she has restoring at this moment. Let me just do that, because now you're marked for a less chance to hit me. I am a little bit more hurt, so you know what? And that's the other attack, where you can see that I've reduced the light now using that attack. And then let's go for the beast form, and let's do Feast, which is also quite an interesting one, I think. It's +1 additional HP healed per versus every corpse that I do. There's a 100% accuracy versus not bleeding, so I'm not gonna hit a darn thing in this place, but thanks to the Feast, and possibly hitting her, because I don't know how bad she is at it. Actually, I missed her, but this, having attacked her still restores me. So that's correct. And then she healed a little bit. Oh, voila. We had a ton of healing received from this character. In a very, very unique way. You have to build around it a little bit, I'll admit that. It's something we're definitely not used to before from the game, but...
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
It is rather interesting, don't you think? Just this whole idea of that she can summon some Raj copy of her, she can do this twice per battle, is that heals the other people, makes her a very interesting character. And unlike the Vestal, her damage isn't half bad. Her damage with Dark Sun Arrow is actually quite good. And Focus Ray isn't even bad as well because of these stealths. I am particularly not a fan of her individual healing abilities though, because they are so minor, these guys. Not alone to say that these give a possible disease. This one is the only one that I find somewhat decent as a heal ability, but that's only on herself. So, yeah. I'm going to show you now the Covenant thing. That's what I would like to focus on right now. Because I would like to kill this guy, for instance, right?
Impressive.
Or I would like these two guys to get killed. Well, let me just... Covenant. I unfortunately did not do the de-stress, but I did add the horror. Because I think that's also, like, guaranteed. Let me just... I can check her. Yeah, that's not a 50% chance. That's guaranteed, so that always happens. Let me just remove you.
Surges as the enemy crumbles.
Should have done that because actually she is gonna go. And despite the fact that they were surprised, her extra action doesn't go before the surprise. If that happened, it would have been awesome. But boom, look at that. Already her post is activated, so she can do that in particular, and then we can headbutt you. Doesn't that animation remind you of something? Yeah, it is definitely borrowed from, but all in all, I'm pretty freaking okay with it, because although it does show more that it's a mod type of character, I have seen animations of being a lot worse, if you will. And here you can see that the debuff has been added. Adding the heal, lowering him, and then hopefully being able to add a heal on him before that guy goes. Unfortunately, I've not have been able yet to kill this. I don't know if that like drops a heal bomb or a stress bomb, or if that actually is just all around bad. I've had this yet to happen. There we go. Ooh, Solar Blessing. There is a disease. That's actually new to me. I don't even know what it does.
Is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Solar Blessing plus 3% stress heal on crit, 25% healing if HP is below 35, minus 5% max heal. Next stage, Solar Addiction. Oh, so the disease she gives is actually kind of like an offset of things. Sure, that's an interesting technique. Still, I don't like having disease on my characters in general. Not sure why I'm all picking this up, because no, I got no money issues. You know what? Do this, and no, I'm still not doing what I want. Just go there, voila, eat it. There we go. And let's grab something with her. What I'm doing right now is kind of pointless actually, but I could have just double backed and it would have been fine. There we go. Keep the light up. Because I can, basically. Not even sure what the mission is. I just picked the mission that both of them could be explore 90% of rooms. Okay. Just a mission in which both of these low-level characters could be added. And I would be able to show off some of their abilities. And as I said, unfortunately no camping, but everything else was like very, very dark red, meaning very dangerous for these, way too dangerous for these low-level characters. And I'm recording this on Monday the 3rd of September, and this will go up on Tuesday the 4th of September. So you can understand that I have a little bit less of a luxury in picking the exact perfect dungeon to show off everything. There we go. That she gets stressed out, I have the feeling happens quite often, and that's not only because I use this on her. In general, she is kind of like, well, what can I say? Her transformation also causes issues, so that's a little bit of the thing that is happening over there. Let's just do this.
Another one falls.
Let's kill you.
Executed with
And there it
impunity.
is. Just making use of the additional light that was generated there. But yeah, I'm still enjoying also the CEO Marvin's mods, but you can see with her reflection and why it's possibly good to have riposts active, or better to say, not riposte, but have group attacks available to you. So you can actually attack both the enemy as well as her mirror reflection. And this is a perfect thing to just
As
take
the
you
theme
out.
falls, a faint hope blossoms.
You're gonna regret that.
Masterfully
There you go.
executed.
-7 stress. Thank you, Solar Blessing, I think it was called.
As victories mount,
Yep.
so too will resistance.
There it actually showed off to be rather nice. But yeah, also she's called Acolyte of the Sun, but I find her helmet, to me that looks like the moon has impacted it upon it. Not like the sun is. I mean, I understand that these spikes are probably supposed to be the sun rays, but yeah, it feels like Acolyte of the Sun and Moon might even be better to her. Then I understand, however, that that is a freakish ass long name. So, I don't know. It's my only issue with the character. And the werewolf, I haven't even been able to. I should show you some of the other abilities, because I'm just. Please have a fight. Perfect. Look at 2 fights, even better. We're gonna show off some of the other abilities because we're starting to get a little bit. I've shown over all of hers, but let me just put this one in it. You know what? No, we don't. We really don't need the heals. But I am going to show the other skills that the werewolf has to offer. All right. That actually could be quite useful over here. Boom, boom, boom. So, what she has, for instance, she has a way to clear mark target. Now, unfortunately, nothing has been marked yet as we surprised them, but what we can do is do this right now. We'll taunt them and mark ourselves. But it prevents other marking. I don't know exactly how that works as advantage, but the spider should attack her now. She's got riposte active, so hopefully that will be good. And yeah, that ability looks rad, and luckily both her and the Falconer can be in third or fourth position and it doesn't matter. Boom. That's an unfortunate dodge, but... And there it is, Beast Form. Possibly could have done the stress relief there of the Falconer. Boom! So that was another ability of the werewolf. Unfortunately, couldn't use the clear mark target. Perhaps the next one.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
Also doesn't really have a mark. I'm just gonna show you just for the hell of it. Nice dodge, thank you very much. Tempting goblet, always a little annoying. Possibly killing her in one shot. Nice. You know what? I am going to already attack you because no bueno. So let's go for this one. As you can see, it will hit all three of us in the front. Suffer 1 damage, clear mark target, and we say, now you cannot be marked. That 1 damage, however, isn't as bad as you might think it is, in my opinion, with this lineup, because 1 HP small damage fractions is what the Acolyte of the Sun is pretty good at healing. If a Vessel does this, she will just overheal it without any benefit whatsoever. So, in this group, that little damage of the mark target really isn't bad. So I feel that these two characters made by O Nightmare pretty well work together. Work pretty well together, I should say. Sorry, that was a little bit of a confusing sentence. You don't have your repose active. But yeah, this debuff of accuracy I also love. I am a pretty a fan of this. There you go. Fill me up. There's that 1 HP.
The ground quakes.
Not that I need anything of this, but I mean, hey, if I can, why not, right? Actually, you really need to transform into Beast to show off the other abilities. I've shown Feast and I've shown the Headbutt, which is not called Headbutt, I think, because that is the one. That's. There you saw the transformation for a moment, but unfortunately that transformation animation, for some reason, when I play this, it just insta happens, and I don't know what happens. No, it is called Headbutt. And the only one I haven't shown you is Regain Humanity, but it's kind of clear what it does. It's a stress relief, return to human form. Well, perhaps one more chance? No, well. That is going to be it then. This is going to be the characters of Nightmare. By the way, 70% trap disarm on a level 1. She isn't superb, but she isn't horrible at it. But this character, 90% on the Acolyte, is pretty strong. I know she's level 2, but it is between medium to high, and I think her is at the lower end to medium. But that is it. Now, the scary thing is,
to us,
I have to admit,
and we will find whatever secrets they hold.
Do you remove a disease on the werewolf now? Because now that's a question, because I don't want to remove rabies. But unfortunately, when I put somebody into this...
Our family name, once so well regarded, is now barely whispered aloud by decent folk.
If I put her here in a medical ward, I have a decent chance of removing the other disease as well. Because I'm fully upgraded. So, removing solar addiction could actually be pretty annoying. Actually, it's already addicting. She has already moved from blessing to addicting. And next stage will be solar immunity. So now she recently... This is a debuff. Because death blow resistance has been even lowered more. Her HP has been lowered more, and now she also received longer horror duration. So I am going to remove it, but I hope it will not remove the rabies. Which is so weird to say, because normally you don't want the rabies. But with this character you do, so I don't want the medical ward to work optimally. It is a strange sensation. And I like that there is actually something else you have to think about. So also these two characters I'm very much enjoying, as you already might have surmised from my telling about them. So, in the next episode, we're gonna look at a few more mods, and that might be the last one we'll try out. There are 3 more mods to play, and possibly I'm gonna do it in 2 chunks. And of course, we're gonna do the last few of the Darkest Dungeon episodes, and that's probably going to be somewhere where we are going to stop this particular run. But if you ask me in general, are these mods worth it? Well, I'm certainly enjoying quite a few of them. I've already let it shine through a little bit which ones I really prefer and which ones I don't. And they do definitely change the game for me and make it so that I am playing quite extensively. Because I'm already in week 153. Well, so thank you for watching, and remember, great peril yields great beauty.